Welcome, everyone, to Steve Savant's Money, the name of the game. I'm your host, Steve Savant, syndicated financial columnist and money color commentator. On today's show, life insurance, the concerns and myths, part 5 in our series on the alternative solutions of life insurance with best-selling author, popular platform speaker, and nationally recognized retirement expert, Tom Hegna. Welcome to segment 5, Tom.
Hey, great to be with you, Steve.
Man, there are so many myths out there, fables, things that aren't true. I mean, I think we carry this from the 1950s. I mean, the Eisenhower era, right? Yeah. And we've just transplanted it into our 21st century thinking, and most of it is not true.
Right. And, you know, people, they don't believe in life insurance. I mean, I always ask people, well, where do you get that? Well, my daddy taught me that. Okay, where's your daddy? He's dead. Okay, well, you know, you got car insurance, and the odds of you totaling your car are only about 18 out of 100. You got homeowners insurance. The odds of you ever using that is about 3 out of 100. But the odds of you needing life insurance are 100 out of 100. So I don't know how people can't believe in life insurance. It's a false concern.
I guess if they were equating it to religion, I get it. Okay, yeah. but we're not. Well, walk us through some of the.
I hear a lot of them. You know, some people say I want to buy term life insurance. I was at Dave Ramsey's Financial Peace University in my church, and he says buy term. And look, here's what I say. If somebody says they want to buy term life insurance, I share this. I say, look, you've been told a lot of things about life insurance. Now let me share with you the ultimate truth. Here's the ultimate truth about life insurance. The only policy that matters is the one that's in force on the day that you die. Let me say that again. The ultimate truth about life insurance is the only policy that matters is the one that's in force on the day that you die. See, it doesn't matter if it's whole life, term life, variable life, index life. The only one that matters is the one that's in force on the day that you die. But here's a fact. Less than 2% of term policies are ever in force on the day that you die. Now, that doesn't mean term is bad. What that means is term should never be your only policy. Term is there for supplemental coverage, for extra coverage. When the kids are little, when the bills are high, when the paycheck is small, you can use term life insurance for a short period of time, okay? But you can't use term life insurance for your whole life. It's not going to work. Term life insurance will not work to leave a legacy to your children because it's going to become too expensive and you're going to have to let it go and then you won't have any life insurance. Term life insurance cannot be used to transfer a business because if you live to be a long time, the business isn't going to transfer. Term is there for a short period of time, 10, 15, 20 years. The myth here is that people think they're not going to need term life. They're not going to need life insurance after they're older, and we kind of handled that one earlier.
We did. Now, you said this earlier in a segment. You can watch it again. It's about 3 segments back. Tom brought up the idea that more life insurance, permanent life insurance, is sold in people in their 60s who wish they would have bought it in their 30s.
Yeah. More permanent life insurance is sold to people over the age of 60 than under the age of 60. So what happened to those people? You know, and the biggest policies are sold to old rich people, and supposedly old rich people don't need any policies. Oh, I want a $100,000 term policy. Look, I tell advisors not even to illustrate term under $1 million. I mean, term is cheap for a reason. You're supposed to buy a bunch of it, okay? So I would encourage you to buy term in units, 1 million, 2 million, 5 million. We already talked about how people need at least $1 million of life insurance for every $50,000 of income, because in this low interest rate environment, we're in a 1% interest rate environment. You know, it used to be you need 10 times your income for life insurance. Yeah, that was great when interest rates were 10%. Interest rates are 1%. You know, and I say even if they're 5%, you need $1 million for every 50,000.
By the way, what's 100,000 worth? Nothing.
1,000 a year in income in a 1% interest rate environment. 5,000 a year in a 5% interest. You can't live on that. Right. You know, people say I want to buy term and invest the difference. Look, I have been in this business for over 30 years. I have never seen a person who bought term and invest the difference. I see them buy term and lose the difference. I see them buy term and spend the difference. But I've really never seen a person buy term and invest the difference. And if somebody honestly says they want to buy term and invest the difference, I'm going to show them a universal life contract. Because you know what universal life insurance is? Buy term and invest the difference. You can put it in a fixed account. You can put it in an index account. You can put it in a variable account. You can put it in a family of mutual fund type accounts. They're called separate accounts. So, but what's the difference? The difference is when you buy it inside of a universal life contract, all the money you spend on term insurance counts towards the cost basis of the policy. So you get tax advantage term life insurance inside of a universal life policy. If you buy term and invest the difference on your own, all the money you spend on term is gone. You get no tax advantage on that.
Well, what about this where it says, I've heard this popular, yeah. I have life insurance through my group plan at work.
Yeah, and you know what the group plan at work says? If you pull it out, it says group supplemental life insurance. It does not say group, this is the only policy you should ever own life insurance. It says group supplemental life. And most of those policies are small. They're $50,000, $100,000, $200,000. What's that going to do in a 1% interest rate environment.
Bury you.
Yeah, I mean, it's inadequate. People need to be buying millions of dollars of life insurance, 100,000, 200,000, completely inadequate, especially if you got children. It's inadequate. So yes, it's great as a supplement. It should never be your only life insurance. And Steve, think about all the people our age in their 50s who are not working at the same job that they did. They didn't know they were going to get downsized, right-sized, and it happens. And what happens if they have a medical problem and now they can't buy any life insurance? They go the rest of their life with no life insurance. I've seen it happen so many times. Now, I don't believe in life insurance. I already handled that one. Life insurance is a lousy investment. I've never said life insurance is a great investment, although it can be. I've seen variable life policies go up 70, 80% in a year, okay? So they can be an investment, but that's not why I buy it. I buy it as a wealth builder, a wealth accumulation tool. Because if you study wealthy people, what they do is whenever they have investments that go up, they take some of those profits and they lock them away. And then markets go up and down, take some profits, lock it away, and you build wealth over time. And a good permanent policy is a great wealth builder. I'm not saying it's a wealth creator. I'm saying it's a great, safe place to build wealth. People say you have to keep paying forever. That's not true. In another segment, we showed a 10-pay whole life policy. You can do an accelerated pay policy where you only pay for 7 years or 8 years or 10 years or 12 years, and then you're done. And it's guaranteed paid up, and that's a great policy to have. You have to die to win. We've shown that's not true. You get tax-free income, and the whole thing about life insurance is that you can get that tax-free income. And in a previous segment, we talked about the importance of tax diversification, that most people have their money in pre-tax dollars, IRAs, 401ks, and with all the debt and all these obligations, what's going to happen is taxes are going to have to go up to pay for that. So people have IRAs and 401ks in retirement, they're not going to like them as much. While they're working, they like them. But that's where life insurance, if you've got this bucket of tax-free money, you can take tax-free money out in retirement. I just want to
talk just before we go on to the last one.
Yeah.
It says, well, you have to die to win. When I'm thinking about life insurance, I'm thinking about this is a love sale.
Yeah.
This is a stewardship sale. This isn't about me and I have to die and I don't even win. This is protecting the people that you really cherish in your life. So if I'm sitting there trying to put my big pants on, being the head of the family here, I need to be able to think about it in those terms. This is a stewardship issue. This is a lifestyle. I want my family to maintain their lifestyle issue. It has nothing to do with I don't win because I died.
Right. And they always say if you don't love anybody, you're not going to buy any life insurance.
Pretty much.
And I would go on appointments when I was an advisor, and you know, people say, I don't want her to get, she'll run off with Fred at the bowling alley if she gets that money. And I say, well, okay, do you want her to have to run off with Fred, or do you want it to be her choice? Because right now, you're not leaving her much of a choice. I mean, if there's no life insurance there, let's give people choices, and if you don't love your family, you're not going to buy life insurance. I can't do anything about that.
Well, this is the biggest one, I have to say, because we deal in this all the time. You know, we're sitting there in retirement funding, and I have all these older people say, Steve, I really wish I would have bought this when I was younger and it was cheaper. The big myth, I won't need life insurance when I'm older.
Well, that's the big myth, and that's what Dave Ramsey says, and Susie Arm and all these people, they say, oh, when you're older, you won't need life insurance anymore. That is a myth. The people who buy the biggest policies are over age 60. And I have a whole chapter in my book, Don't Worry, Retire Happy, which is all about retirement, about the importance of life insurance in retirement. See, it's the life insurance that you bring into retirement that gives you the license to spend your money. You know why so many people are not enjoying their retirements? Because in their minds, they think they got to leave some money to their kids. Or I got to leave some money to Johnny and Susie. I got to leave some money to Johnny and Susie. So they're not enjoying their retirement so that they can leave money to their kids. So what I tell people all the time is, I don't want you to leave your kids any money. Don't leave your kids any money. You spend your money. Leave them life insurance because you can do it for pennies on the dollar. And I gave you the example of me, got 4 kids. We said, how much should we leave the kids? I don't know. Let's get $1 million second to die. We can leave them each $250,000 tax-free. That $1 million policy costs us total $150,000. So for 15 cents on the dollar, I get to leave my kids $1 million tax-free. That's what I want people to do. Leave money to your kids with life insurance for pennies on the dollar, and then you go out and spend all your money.
Well, Tom, these are some of the things that we're talking about. We want to debunk all these things because it's costing you money to believe this.
Yeah.
So think about it. I want you to start looking and examining. You're the actual steward of your own finances. You need to make the call on your belief system on economics. This is one of the pieces of the pie, and in my view, it's a cornerstone piece. I want to thank Tom for sharing this series on the alternative solutions of life insurance. And keep in mind, before moving forward, any of the ideas you hear on our show, always check with your tax consultant, legal counsel, or your financial advisor. You've been watching Steve Savant's Money.
Oh my